Being low maintenance is never the prize. It's not the goal. That's not a compliment coming from a man. And I know a lot of women get praised for this, right? You're so chill. You're not like the other girls. You're easy. You don't ask for much. I love that. You just don't make a big deal out of things like my ex did. You're so understanding. You're not needy. You're not dramatic. You're not high maintenance. And honestly, listen, nobody is saying that you need to become difficult. You need to be high maintenance. You don't have to invent problems, obviously. You don't have to demand luxury or drain people. It's not the point. The point is that no human being has no needs, right? No woman has no needs or no preferences. It's important to have desires and standards and limits for everybody. But when a man praises a woman for being low maintenance, especially an abusive man, I want you to ask, what is he praising exactly, right? That you bring him peace? Is it your silence or your peace? Really think about that. Is he praising your independence, or is he praising that he doesn't actually have to put in a lot of effort and he doesn't actually have to show up or do much for you? You know those men that praise your emotional maturity? Is it that, or is it the fact that you make yourself really small and you don't actually ask him of anything? Because abusive men benefit hugely from women believing that the best woman in the room is the woman who needs the least and asks for the least, who takes up the least amount of space, the chill woman who forgives quickly, she expects very little, and then she likes to be called chill or low maintenance, right? That's not chill. Absolutely not. I am not the chill girl, and I will never be the chill girl. Now, I'm going to break down how abusive men use low maintenance as a compliment, why women keep taking it as one, how it connects to this good girl conditioning that we're all falling into, and coercive control, and how being so easy for him can actually be dangerous for you. My name is Lisa Sonni. I'm a certified relationship coach. I'm the author of 5 books, and I'm an expert in toxic and abusive relationships. And on this channel, I expose what abusive men do so that women can see through it, see clearly, exit these relationships, and not be in relationships with men like this. Now, trust me, I know low maintenance sounds like a compliment, right? That's why it works. It's kind of flattering, right? It sounds like you're relaxed or secure. You're just easygoing. Things that women want to be, right? You're not demanding. You're not dramatic. You're not one of those women. You're not needy. And women want to be seen that way. We know the punishment for being too much, right? Too emotional, too sensitive, too expensive. All these things that men constantly claim. You're hard to love if you need anything. So when a man says, I love that you're low maintenance, it can feel like a compliment and relief, right? Like, see, I'm easy to love. I'm not a burden. I'm not like the women he complains about. That's the hook. He is praising the version of you that costs him the least amount. And I don't necessarily mean money, right? People take high maintenance, low maintenance, and they immediately think of it as money. But there's a lot of other things going on here. And no one has no needs. But that's what they're praising you for, having less needs, needing less, wanting less, being less. Men have needs, women have needs, children have needs, friendships, any relationship, bodies have needs, all of it. The question isn't about if you have needs. It's whether or not you're allowed to actually have them out loud, right? Are you allowed to talk about them? Are you allowed to express your needs? Because as soon as women express needs, often, oh my God, you're so needy. Why? Suddenly it's a problem. Women who appear low maintenance don't necessarily have less needs, but they are expressing them less often because women are taught to suppress their needs, right? Hyper independence. She does everything herself. And abusive men love that. They love it because they benefit from it, right? Because maybe when she asks for things, she's disappointed, she's upset, she's treated badly, she's punished. She might have learned that in order to be loved, she had to be convenient to the people around her. And women are learning this from a very young age, right? Family of origin, we're all living in a patriarchy here. Unfortunately, we can't seem to escape it right now. But abusive men, they love a woman who self-abandons and does it very quietly while she's not asking for anything. Look at the benefits that an abusive man gets when he's with somebody who's really low maintenance. And we're going to ignore the fact for a moment that he's kind of conditioned her to be low maintenance. He wants to go out with his friends and you're totally fine with that, right? Even though he hasn't really spent any time with you in the last few weeks, It's fine. It's cool, right? And then he gives you some crumbs. He takes you out on a date and you're grateful for that, right? You eat up those little delicious little crumbs. When you don't expect effort, it's really interesting because sometimes women feel almost embarrassed by their needs, right? It's like, oh, no, I'm good. I don't need that. It's okay. When you're acting that way, you're embarrassed by yourself having needs and wanting something from a relationship, having any expectations in a relationship. Who do you think benefits from that? You are a prime person for an abusive man when you behave this way. And I can say that because I was that when I was in my 20s. And honestly, I have never been happier to not be in that stage of my life anymore. In fact, I vividly remember talking to my current partner years ago about how I'm not the cool girl, I'm not the chill girl, I'm not the low maintenance girl. A woman who is embarrassed by her own needs and having expectations is easy to control because you're doing it yourself, right? You're controlling yourself. You made yourself quieter. You sacrificed all your needs. This guy doesn't even have to clock in. The patriarchy did the onboarding for him, which is how women are just conditioned right from a very young age. And I want women to see through this so we can step out of this and expect more from our relationships. Now, we talked about how low maintenance often has this connection to money, right? But we don't always talk about it connects to effort. You don't cost him time or money or accountability. You don't cost him change, right? None of these things that cost him something. Now, relationships with a man and a woman should be relatively balanced. Everybody should have their needs met, but that's in a healthy relationship. And so often the dynamic is just not that. Do you know how many men find a woman who's low maintenance, right? They don't actually require anything from him. And then he's like, oh, we're so compatible. Yeah, of course you're compatible. Of course, he gets to do nearly nothing. And you are keeping yourself regulated. You are paying for your own stuff. You're super independent. You don't ask him to hang out with you very often. You don't ask him to meet you emotionally. None of this stuff, right? You don't want to be that woman. Well, he's benefiting from all of that. And my question is, if a woman was actually happy that way, then go ahead and do that, right? I'm a feminist. I want you to have whatever it is that you want. But not having needs, that's not a thing. That's not a human thing. You do have needs. You just don't want to ask him for those needs. Why? Is your expectation of men so low? Have you been burned by so many men? Do you not think men are capable of that? Do you not think you deserve that? Do you think, oh, you should just meet it all yourself? That's not being in a relationship, right? This is actually an arrangement, and men love arrangements that look like love, but actually function to him like you serving him. And I think the ironic part of all of this is who the hell is more high maintenance than an abusive man? That's the part that should almost make you laugh, but also make you mad. Because seriously, abusive men need more managing, more protecting. They need their anger soothed, their shame soothed. He needs his story believed. He has to be the victim. His lies need explaining, right? His sexual needs have to be prioritized. That's the top need. He has to have that. Doesn't matter if he treats you badly. That's his need, right? His bad day is the whole problem of everyone around him. Everyone has to soothe him, his children, his wife, all of it. His jealousy is you being socially restricted, right? That's an opportunity for him to be coercively controlling. He is so high maintenance. But no, God forbid. No, you're high maintenance because you want dinner plans, affection, respect, a text back, honesty. Oh my God, women are so high maintenance. It's insane to see it that way. Please stop calling women complicated. Abusive men are very high maintenance, very needy, very emotional. And I think the contradiction in all of this is just the point, right? You want a low maintenance woman. You want that natural beauty with no drama, no fuss, not materialistic, super chill. But then they idealize women who require maintenance. The contradiction is right there on Instagram, isn't it, right? You want the chill girl who's low maintenance, but you're lusting after and foaming at the mouth over Instagram models who've had work done, who dress really well, who have their nails done, who are very high maintenance. They want you to look like the fantasy, but they don't want to acknowledge any of the work, right? They just want you to just be that. This is why they want a woman that looks effortless, looks like she doesn't put any effort in at all. She just wakes up like this, right? because effort would require respect. So we pretend that there is no effort. That's why effortless beauty is the thing that's idealized by so many abusive men. But I'm telling you, the cool girl praise is a trap. This is that little pat on the head. You're a good girl, right? You're the girl that doesn't ask for too much and you don't get jealous and you don't care when he follows those half-naked bikini models online, right? You don't care. You don't expect planning. You laugh at the jokes that he makes at your expense. And when you're disappointed, you just make other plans with your friends and you say, it's fine, honey. No worries. You get praised as the good girl. That's coercive control. When he's constantly praising you for being the woman that he loves, when you are meanwhile sacrificing yourself, you're giving up all of your needs and you're being called the cool girl, the chill girl, the good girl. That is conditioning. You're out here cooperating with your own neglect and saying, that's cool, no problem, right? You've been trained to stop expecting reciprocity. And the patriarchy teaches this. This is what men expect. And then this is what women do. Women are unhappy. Men are benefiting from this. This is what breeds abusive relationships. Don't be the chill girl. This kind of stuff starts from when women are little girls, okay? You are understanding. You don't make a scene. You're not selfish. You don't embarrass anyone. You don't want too much. You don't need too much. You don't ask for much. Just be easy. Men know how to use this. Abusive men will exploit this, right? They want the good girl. They take the woman with boundaries, for example, and they want to break her. If you have any, they'll change that. They'll reinforce this good girl vibe because the good girl, she gets approval, right? She gets told that she's different from other women. And again, this is how the patriarchy pits women against each other. You want to be the good girl. You can't be like those bitter, old, horrible, jaded women on the internet who are over 40 that are telling the younger women what has happened to them. They're sharing their life experiences. No, you don't want to be one of those women. So then you don't listen. Now, as a quick aside, I had a recent experience where a man came into my DMs on Facebook and told me that it's my fault that his wife left him and that he's in a brand new relationship and they don't argue, which is proof that his ex-wife was the problem. He takes full accountability for that, except it was my fault. So unironically, of course, you catch me on Facebook, what I did was go in and find his new girlfriend and shared our entire conversation with her. And I happened to know that she was at least a decade younger than the ex-wife. And guess what I expected? That she probably wouldn't listen to me, but I just wanted to share the conversation. She listened to me. Women are waking up. Younger women are also catching on to this. They're listening to the women in older generations. Thank goodness, because we're going to save you guys so much heartache. The moment a woman has a need, suddenly she's completely selfish and controlling. She changed, right? No, she probably just stopped performing for this man who's taking advantage of her, which good on her, right? Low maintenance is coercive because when you add punishment into this, and that's important because abusive men will always punish you. Now, what I'm not saying is that a man who likes simplicity is just abusive. I can't stand when people in the comments willfully miss the point, so let's not go there, okay? Some people are literally just kind of a chill person, but a lot of people also think that if you're just a woman who has like no makeup, you're that kind of girl, you like hiking, you like sports, whatever, that you are a chill girl. No, you still have emotional needs. You still want a partner in the relationship, so don't get it twisted. Obviously, some people value ease and, being simple in a relationship. But in an abusive relationship, this can become very coercive because there's a punishment when you have needs. So for example, you say that you want to hang out this weekend and he gets mad and like, oh my God, I already spent so much time with you. We see each other every day. Yes, Kevin, we live together, but you ignore me and scroll on your phone or play video games or work late or whatever. But he gets mad at you. He withdraws, he sulks, he compares you to other women. He says things like, well, my ex was crazy too. I know women. He'll call you ungrateful. He'll make you feel expensive, but in a bad way, right? Not like luxury expensive, like too expensive, like a burden. He makes you feel like love from him depends on you needing less. And he'll say it's a preference, but it's training. This is behavioral training 101. Because whenever you have self-expression, you'll be punished. And over time, you become cheaper to love. But the real goal is not necessarily low maintenance, it's smallness, right? Lower your expectations. You keep that bar in hell where they love it. That's why I love that sort of new expression. I don't know who coined it, but like, if I'm too much, go find less. Go find less. The happiest women in the world are single, childless women. And the sneakiest part is that women can often start taking pride in needing less, right? Like, oh, I don't ask for much. No, I'm not materialistic. No, no, no. I don't need dates. No, no. Flowers, I don't care. I don't need that. I don't need gifts. No, I don't need any reassurance. I don't need attention. I don't need romance. I don't need air. I don't need water. Stop making yourself so small. You are allowed to take up space. You have been conditioned to think that taking up space makes you the wrong kind of woman. Absolutely not. It's 2026. We're not doing that anymore. The truth is, in your female friendships, you can have all these needs, right? But in a relationship with a man, you've learned not to expect these things because men who are abusive are not going to give these things. You're probably starving for these things. And I want you to really see the difference between being independent and being emotionally underfed. When you are starving for something, you just start living without it. You can have these things. You deserve to have these things. You have been disappointed so many times that you've made it your whole personality out of being low maintenance and chill, out of not asking. But a lot of abusive men, they want access to women, but they don't want to be obligated, right? He wants the girlfriend. He wants the trophy. He wants the sex and the loyalty and the labor, the image, the comfort, all the things that men get, all the ways that men benefit from being in relationships with women, the mothering and the admiration, the ways women lift up their men so often. But he doesn't want the obligation that requires him to give into the relationship. Low maintenance becomes his dream, but for you, it can be a nightmare. And at the end of the day, be you. I'm not saying be high maintenance, but don't be low maintenance. And if you want to be high maintenance, do you. Become a woman with needs. That's absolutely normal and okay because he is benefiting from you not having any. Being low maintenance is not a prize. Being easy, being quiet, absolutely not. You're being chill while you're being neglected. That's not okay. And again, you don't need to become high maintenance, but you also can stop calling starvation something good. You can stop bragging about being so independent in a relationship. Be okay with having needs. Hit subscribe if you're not already. And if you're in a relationship like this or you're rebuilding after a relationship where you've been trained to be small and forgiving and chill and low maintenance, work with me one-on-one, join any of my group coaching programs, or join me inside She Rises Collective, my monthly online community for women survivors of domestic violence, abuse, narcissistic abuse, toxic relationships. I co-host it with therapist Shelly Pumphrey. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.